Electronic Arts voted as the worst company in America and connects integration with Star Wars, all in this week's 3-player co-op. As always, I'm Mark.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Mike.
This week, The Consumerist awarded Electronic Arts the title of the worst company in America. The award takes the format of a knockout tournament where EA took on Sony, Best Buy and Comcast and came out victorious. In the final, EA went head-to-head with Bank of America and came away with over 60% of the vote. Previous winners include the Recording Industry Association of America, AIG, Comcast and BP. So guys, was the Mass Effect 3 ending that bad that EA deserves the worst company in America title?
I think this, in my personal opinion, illustrates the idea of first world problems for the likes of people in America completely. They're saying a software company that makes games something you have fun with are the worst company in the States? What a heap of bullshit. A bank that doubles your mortgage repayments or a company that destroys the Gulf and all the wildlife in it, they're the worst companies in the entire world. Not EA, oh we make games for a living, we're so evil.
We've seen a much more evil company now. They're not American, they're Japanese in Capcom lately. I know we moan about Capcom incessantly, but wow. I played Operation Raccoon City last week and it is bollocks.
One of the issues raised by the Consumerist was that software companies shouldn't be allowed to, screw over their consumers and take their money, hold back content and then charge them at a later date. So you could say that EA are pretty bad in this regard.
Not to sound like a broken record, but wow, Capcom are so much worse than EA in this regard. You look at Street Fighter across Tekken and all its costumes. I mean, EA's content appears to have had actual work put into it. You can't say that about the costume things. It's just so irritating. And EA, in many cases, like in Tiger Woods, actually give you the option. You can unlock those courses by playing the game. Or if you're time poor and cash rich, you can pay for it. So options are there.
Yeah, I don't want to come across as being an EA apologist in this conversation. That's certainly not what I am. I don't have any major issues with them, which obviously separates me from the people who are voting on a competition like this. But essentially, this is a company that makes games, okay? You buy them or you don't buy them. You buy the games and maybe you buy the content or you don't buy the content. This is not an evil corporation that is out to ruin the lives of thousands of Americans. If you don't like their product, don't buy it and get over it. What are their business practices that really piss people off as distinct from other computer game publishers? I mean, are they that much different to Activision? How did Activision fare out in this competition?
Actually, Activision appear to have lost their villainy. I haven't heard much moaning about Activision lately. I wonder, is it just the media kind of focus on one company at a time, and EA are their current whipping boy?
Yeah, I think that could be it. So I had a lecturer in college who talked about a 6-month news cycle. That every 6 months something big is going to come up and everybody's going to forget what happened about before then. So have people forgotten that Activision essentially destroyed the rhythm market, the instruments? EA were a publisher that gave the developer Harmonix so much free reign and they developed the genre in a way that nobody else did.
Well, if we look at the last 6 months for EA, they brought in the online pass, which was controversial. They've been accused of holding back DLC content, and they were exposed on the consumer watchdog for their EA servers, which went down an awful lot, and Ultimate Team suffered as a result of that.
Is this the servers are going down and people are getting access to confidential information, or is it the servers are going down, boo-hoo, I can't play my game?
It's more the boo-hoo, I can't play the game, but it is quite an inconvenient when you pay for the game.
Okay, that's a fair point. It's definitely a legitimate issue if you're paying for an online pass. But speaking about the online pass thing, I personally have no issue with that. The used games market accounts for billions of dollars. You got GameStop coming out bragging about how they make so much money for piss-all investment from their side. Do we really think it's fair to hate on EA because they're charging you to play online if you didn't buy the game new?
Exactly, I don't mind the online pass thing one bit. I mean, we all kind of buy new games, so I guess it's not as big a deal for us. But still, they do have to make a bit of money out of these things. And as you say, if GameStop are making billions and bragging about it, why shouldn't EA get in on that?
If we were to bring this back to the video game industry, and we had to compile a top 10, who would be on the list?
Capcom right now are number one, but as I say, they're probably just the current whipping boy and they're in my head.
Capcom are in my head as well, but I'm not going to forget about it. Capcom are not getting money off me for years.
Well, I must confess, I'm going to be waiting outside the shop for Resident Evil 6. But other than that, no way.
I'd definitely stick Activision in there. I haven't forgiven them for the Guitar Hero thing. Rock Band was going strong, but they saturated the market, so Harmonix gets screwed. Wonderful.
On the positive side of news, with EA recently as well, they stood up against anti-gay groups who came out and wrote thousands of letters based on the ability to have a same-sex relationship in games such as Mass Effect. And they've also released, or they're coming out and releasing the extension to the ending for Mass Effect 3 free.
They had to release that any extension for free, but the standing up to anti-gay campaigners, that's just great. I mean, okay, these people are clearly kind of nuts. I mean, writing a letter based on something inconsequential in a game, that's just mad. Just mad.
Yeah, but that's who we're dealing with here. We're dealing with people who vote that a video game company is the worst company in the United States. Rational consumers, these people are not.
So clearly we don't have many companies that we hate ourselves, but let us know any that you don't like too much in the comment section below. This week also saw the release of Kinect Star Wars, and the reviews have been mixed to say the least. Its current Metacritic score stands at 59 out of 100, and one of the more controversial elements is the dancing minigame. This features Star Wars characters dancing along to remix songs such as Hologram Girl and Princess in a Bottle.
I'm jumping in my falcon, whoopie at my side. I'm solo, I'm Han Solo, I'm Han Solo, I'm Han Solo, I'm Han Solo.
So Sean, I'm going to come to you as a Star Wars fan. Are you rushing out to buy it and buying the Kinect and everything to go with it?
Not so much. I would like to give it a go. I haven't played it yet, and the lightsaber bits do look kind of good, but from the reviews, they don't play that well. In fact, they kind of suck. Like, it would be amazing to get one-to-one lightsaber combat. They actually did something really cool in a Star Wars arcade game in the late 90s where you actually used the joystick to one-to-one control a lightsaber. And that's what I was kind of hoping for with this, just without the joystick, but it didn't turn out that way.
This looks absolutely terrible. Like, if I didn't know better, I would say it was a joke. Like, if I didn't know that this was a legitimate game for a console, I would say somebody mocked this up and tried as hard as possible to make it so bad that people would just think, what the hell is going on here?
Perhaps the music is a representation of what the characters were feeling at the time. Han was so glad to be out of the Carbonite, but it actually makes no damn sense, because he's out of the Carbonite on Cloud City. He didn't get out of that Carbonite until he was in Jabba's Palace and Return of the Jedi. What? It just makes no sense. I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure that Harmonix have come out and made a statement distancing themselves from the dancing in the game. It was like, oh no, that wasn't us. That's, we wouldn't be associated with that piece of crap.
Apparently the dancing really isn't that bad. It's actually an alright gameplay element. It just kind of makes a mockery of Star Wars. The worst bit is the Rancor attack.
Let's think about the kind of games that are set in universes we're familiar with, and what's good. So I'm going to go straight away for the Batman series by Rocksteady, so Arkham City and Arkham Asylum. They treat the universe and the characters with reverence. You know what I mean? Like, they really understand what's going on, and as a result, they've made like two of the better games from the last 3 to 4 years.
Batman's been in plenty of bad games too, like Batman and Robin on the PS1. Oh, I shudder at the thought. So, these things come and go, and there have been plenty of great Star Wars games. You look at the Knights of the Old Republic series, they're just amazing, and Jedi Outcast. So, yeah, you can't dismiss all Star Wars games because of this particularly bad recent title.
Problem is, you're taking A, movie tie-ins, which are pretty bad by going by the general standard, and B, the Kinect, which developers haven't used properly. So putting those two things together, and you're pretty much guaranteed a train wreck.
Yeah, and Kinect Rush was actually released this week. It's based on Pixar's animated films, and it got kind of similar reviews to Kinect Star Wars. So it seems the vast majority of Kinect games seem to follow the same pattern. They range from messy to good, and only the only real standout are the Dance Central games.
Apparently some of the better Kinect offerings have come from Double Fine, in the form of Once Upon a Monster, which was the Sesame Street tie-in, and Happy Action Theatre, which Eurogamer gave 9 out of 10 to. I'm moving house within the next month, and I am finally going to have enough living room space to actually use Kinect properly, which means I'm probably going to buy it within the next month or two, and I'm wondering what are the standout titles. I mean, like, is there anything that really justifies my investment? I'm probably going to pick up the Dance Central games, but that's more for my family as opposed to for me as a gamer.
No, all I know is you're going to be the best dancing white guy around.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that.
It would appear that Kinect is at its best when it's used as a cool optional extra, like issuing commands in Mass Effect 3 or to play Tiger Woods 13.
It would be nice if it was a supplement to a controller rather than replacing the controller. As you say, like Mass Effect 3, the voice commands, and even Tiger Woods, if you could do the peering at the green and then it zooms in and then you take your shot as normal.
Yeah, I think Mark's hit the nail on the head. It's the supplement to the controller as opposed to be the controller. So like one of the earlier ideas that was thrown out was, you play a first-person shooter, and if you moved your body left or right, it would allow you to lean and peer around corners. I mean, it's so simple, and yet I don't know that any developer has implemented that yet.
I think Kinect needs some really brave, innovative developer to just go all out and blow us away with something that we don't see coming.
I think one of the best examples I've seen of the potential that Kinect has was in a trailer for a game that doesn't even exist. It's the Kinect version of Assassin's Creed. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It actually, I mean, like, there are some ridiculous things in the videos where a guy kind of looks like he kills himself in his living room. But in seriousness, there's a lot of potential. I mean, it looked really well implemented. It was like, I would probably buy this game if I had the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, some of it was really clever. I particularly like the running around to waste time during the loading screens, because that's what I do when I'm...
My favourite part in the Assassin's Creed Kinect was walking up to two guards and just raising your hands, and it was the dual assassination. I thought it was a really cool way to mirror what you do in the game. I mean, diving off a building into a haystack isn't something you're going to do in your living room, but a lot of Assassin's Creed could fit into it.
Yeah, it's a supplement implementation, just be in everything.
Alright, so we're not too pushed on Kinect as you may have guessed, but let us know what your thoughts of it are in the comment section below. And thanks very much for tuning in. Once again, guys, we'll catch you again next time.
Laters!
Shoutouts to Stephen King for watching.